On a seemingly ordinary Wednesday morning in the quiet town of Enigma, Georgia, 82-year-old Eddie Lee Dorminey's day took a tragic turn. While tending to routine maintenance on his lawnmower, Dorminey came face to face with a lethal rattlesnake. Hit like and subscribe. This is Fierce. Eddie Dorminey's day started off just like any other. As usual, he got up early, read his paper, and had a simple breakfast with his wife. After so many years of marriage, their bond was still going strong. They discussed their schedule for the day. She wanted to do some laundry, while he wanted to mow the lawn. That fateful day, Dorminey had planned to spend the morning working in his yard, a task he took great pride in. After finishing his coffee, the 82-year-old man grabbed his tools and headed outside to his shed, ready to start work. Unfortunately, his yard had to wait. His lawnmower, a trusty machine that had served him well over the years, needed some maintenance. Unbeknownst to him, danger was lurking right under his nose, hidden in the mechanisms of his lawnmower. Rattlesnakes are highly specialized venomous reptiles with large bodies and triangular heads. They're one of the most iconic groups of North American snakes due to the characteristic rattle found at the tip of the tail. Although they can be found in grassy plains, wooded areas, and even suburban areas, these snakes are most commonly found in rocky, dry environments. When a rattlesnake chooses to stand its ground, it takes a defensive pose and shakes its rattle to ward off predators. If startled, the snake may go straight to the attack, but they can only strike from a coiled position. Despite their terrifying reputation, rattlesnakes tend to be peaceful and will avoid coming into contact with people. Most bites occur when the snake is accidentally disturbed, as was the case with Eddie Dorminey. Eddie's focus was on the task, so he wasn't anticipating anything wrong to happen to him. His worst-case scenario was that the lawnmower would still be broken. But hidden inside the lawnmower, a rattlesnake lay coiled and silent, ready to attack if anything disturbed it. These snakes are known for seeking cool, sheltered spots, especially during the heat of the day. The small, enclosed, and dark interior of the lawnmower made it the perfect hiding place for the snake. Rattlesnakes also have heat-sensing organs located in pits near the eyes. These pits allow them to see the heat signature of prey. Even in complete darkness, the snake will be able to accurately strike at prey because its meal is warmer than the surrounding environment. Unaware of its presence, Dorminey unintentionally continued to agitate the creature. The rattlesnake, feeling threatened, reacted instinctively. Its rattle, a natural warning mechanism, was lost among the clinking tools and Eddie's grunts as he performed the repairs. The man briefly got his arm out to wipe away droplets of sweat that formed on his forehead. The snake struck as fast as a lightning bolt as Dorminey's hand approached its nest again. The rattlesnake bit Eddie a second time, fully unleashing its anger. Dorminey abruptly pulled his hand back, startled and in excruciating pain. The initial bites were hurting him like crazy, but the snake wasn't finished. The rattlesnake left the cool nest of the lawnmower and struck Eddie's hand again while he wasn't paying attention, injecting more venom into his bloodstream. Then, after completing the job, the rattlesnake retreated back into the machine. A rattlesnake's venom damages tissue, interferes with blood coagulation, and produces excruciating pain and swelling. If the victim doesn't seek treatment immediately, the venom can have fatal consequences, including, in extreme cases, death. His heart raced faster than normal, not only from the venom, but also from shock and fear. He clutched his wrist, trying to stop the bleeding, completely overlooking the fact that the snake bit through a main artery. The venom spread faster than usual. His vision began to blur, and his body felt increasingly weak. He knew he needed help, but he was alone in his yard, and when he called out his wife's name, she didn't hear him. The shed was a few feet away from the back door of the house, and his wife was probably in the laundry room. This, combined with her bad hearing because of her age, meant she wouldn't hear him no matter how loudly he screamed her name. Barely conscious, Dorminey tried to find his way to the house. This was the only way he could save himself. His legs were heavy and uncooperative, making every step a Herculean effort. With a strained and shaky voice, he called out to his wife again, hoping she would hear him. As the venom spread through his veins, hindering his breathing and causing his body to shut down, each breath was an effort. Unaware of the potentially fatal situation that was developing outside, Dorminey's wife was going about her morning routine inside the house. She didn't realize something was off until she heard a weak, desperate call coming from the back door that led to the yard. Rushing outside, she found Dorminey collapsed on the ground, his face pale and his breath shallow. She thought he was having a heart attack, but when she saw the puncture wounds on his wrist and the quickly swelling arm, she knew a snake had bit him. In a panic, she called 911, but deep down, she feared it was too late. The venom had already spread too far, too fast, and her husband wasn't exactly in the prime of life. He attempted to speak to comfort her, but the words refused to come out. What can you say to the person you have loved for so many years? In all their years together, Eddie didn't imagine that this was how he would leave his dear wife. By the time emergency responders arrived, Eddie Dorminey was unresponsive. All attempts to resuscitate him failed. Given his age, after arriving at the scene, it was initially believed that the cause of death was a heart attack. But after examining the body, Berrien County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Larry Tabor found the real reason. He walked around the yard in hopes of finding the culprit until he finally discovered the live, still coiled rattlesnake beneath the lawnmower in the shed. According to Lieutenant Tabor, the sheriff grabbed a stick and went to punch it, and that's when the snake started moving. After that, the snake was killed, but not before it had already done its deadly damage. Eddie Dorminey was a man of honor, well known for his diligence and commitment to his family. For many years, he was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather who knew exactly what to say at all times and who always had a warm smile on his face. Despite his age, he was in pretty good shape, so much so that he used to work around the house almost every day. His grandson would often help him, especially with his lawnmower. Unfortunately, on that fateful day, he decided to work on it alone. Perhaps he actually saved his grandson from the rattlesnake, giving away his life instead. It wouldn't be uncharacteristic for him, that's for sure. In the end, Eddie Lee Dorminey's tragic encounter with a rattlesnake serves as a lesson for all. Always remain vigilant for wildlife, even around your house. Attacks don't always happen in the wild. A predator can come out of nowhere, even in the safest place on Earth.